Samantha Stinson, and this is my PowerPoint for the formal analytical report. So I wanted to do something that was really close to me, literally metaphorically, as the library is about 2 blocks away from me. I've been going there for over 6 years, and I've noticed they have been having a lot of funding issues, and I wanted to address that, and I wanted to see if I could help them. So this is my table of contents here for the PowerPoint, but I'll be going over the executive summary and purpose first. So starting off with that, the general purpose for this PowerPoint is with the Marion Beck Memorial Library to hopefully help find solutions to the funding issues that it's having. And if we don't find solutions, this can possibly lead to cancellation of programs and events. So I did create 2 solutions on my own. I believe these are more practical solutions that I came up with that I haven't really seen happen. I've kind of taken some outside research that I've done and some of my own personal research that I've done and helped bring those together to create my own solutions. But I'm hoping this is a more practical solution, something that the library can actually achieve and do to help get that funding that they need. So as I was saying, the library is facing funding issues, but I want to state how much the library provides to people. If you do not have internet, you can go to the library and you can use a computer for free. If you're not able to afford a textbook, you can go to the library and check out a textbook for free with your free Lake County Library card. You can use the card in any Lake County library, completely free, and it helps out the library a lot knowing that they're having more people come to the library and checking out their books. One main factor of the funding problems that the Marion Beck Memorial is having is federal cuts, and we need to find solutions to help the library out because the library is very important and we need to protect our libraries. If we do not get this funding, this can lead to a decrease in events and programs and resources. I was just behind the desk the other day. It was, I believe, like a week ago, and I was hearing the meeting that they were having of how they were trying to figure out what program to cut because they did not have enough funding for the library. And I was like, I'm really glad I made this report because honestly I could tell them about this. And it's showing how this is a real problem. This is something we really need to face, and we need to find solutions for as quickly as possible. Now, for one of the programs here, I run this program. This is the robotics program in this picture. This is one of the earlier days, and we didn't set up much because we were just trying to build the robots. But we needed to ask Duke Energy for a grant because we did not have enough funding to even start up the event. Now, if we don't find this funding, like I said, programs such as this, a very educational program teaching kids how to build robots, how to fly drones, can be possibly canceled. We could lose patrons because of this, and if we don't have enough funding, it can lead to letting go staff and possibly facing closure. So some of the outside research I have done was based on 5 different libraries in Lake County. So this is their solutions that they have come up with or they have found for some of their funding issues. So the Eustis Memorial Library has created a program called the Gift Book Program. And this basically is a program where you give a donation, which I think the recommended was about $20, and you get a book honoring a loved one or celebrating a special day such as a birthday, or it could be like a Sweet 16 or a wedding day. And you also get a commemorative book plate as well in the inclusion of that. There's also the Lakeland Public Library, which provides multiple different ways of donating to libraries, such as like donating books or donating money to the library. They also have their own Friends of the Library, which is a nonprofit organization most libraries have to help promote their library to get money for their library. So the Leesburg Library also has gotten a $100,000 bequest, which helps boost their funding by 144% since, which is absolutely amazing. The W.D. Bland Library, which is the Mount Dora Library, provides multiple different events through the Mount Dora Library Association, and it helps raise money through those events, such as fundraisers. And last but not least, the Umatilla Public Library also conducts events, but one of the events they specifically did was the quilt raffle, which basically someone made a quilt and they raffled it off through the library, and all of the money that was made there would go straight to the library. So based on this, I made some graphs. I made a pie chart here and a table right here on the primary solutions. Now, I want you, based on this information, what do you think is the main solutions out of the 5 libraries these libraries use? If you said donations or events, you would be correct. These are the 2 main solutions out of the 5 I've chosen. 4 out of the 5 libraries have done either donations or events as a solution to help funding. So with this, I use this information to create some solutions, and one of the first solutions I created was the fundraising committee. So this fundraising committee can help create fundraising events for the library, such as races, like a 5K, which if you don't know what that is, that's a 5-kilometer race, which is about 3 miles. You can have different themes for the races. There's dances. You could do a trivia night. You can have multiple different engaging and interesting events, and you could pay maybe $5 for a ticket to the dance, or $5 to join in for the trivia night. And this can all this money can go towards the library. This can be held throughout the town. We could get some volunteers to help run this committee. This could be held throughout the town or even in the library if we have space in the library. Now, my second solution is having a donor base, which is a little bit harder, but companies can come together to donate. The promotion of their business is offered when they donate to the library. So if, let's say, Duke Energy donated $250 towards an event, we would say, hey, Duke Energy sponsored us, gave us $250 to this event. You should go check them out. They're really cool. And now they're getting promotion of their own business while also helping another business. When more companies come together, each company has to pay less for each event, because if there's more companies, splitting the money that we need through each company would be less with the more companies added. This also helps provide a stable ground for funding events. Now, some of the research I have done, this is when I emailed Hannah Van Wagner, the library assistant. This shows the Friends of the Library profit and loss in January 2025. So we made about $3,000, which is amazing, but with the expenses and everything, we've only really made $1,300. And if we keep splitting money like this, we are eventually not going to have the money to help run future events. So my recommendations for this is solution 1, ultimately, because it helps promote the library and will gain more patrons. And I think honestly, it is easier to rely on volunteers and to ask for people to come and help run this committee compared to relying on companies, which I think if you rely on companies, you struggle with finding the right companies to help you with those events. And I think you just rely too heavily on someone else rather than having volunteers come in and out when you could have multiple people. Now, it does not guarantee profit, and you don't have that foundation to build on for those events, but I believe it's just a more practical solution and can be the main solution that works with solution 2 if companies decide to join in. So the implementation plan here is to find those volunteers, maybe post something on Facebook or Instagram, anywhere you can, to get those volunteers that are willing to join to help with that committee and to plan those events like the races and the dances. Now with this, we would advertise in advance some of those events that are going on to prepare to get people to come, and of course have approval from the library or the town, wherever we're having that event. And once that event happens, we utilize the funding we made from those events, that profit we made, and we send it towards the next event that we're going to have or what the library needs. And this is when if the second solution comes in. If companies decide to help, we can utilize the donations from companies to support future projects. So in conclusion, funding can be acquired through these solutions. While I do recommend solution 1, solution 2 can work in conjunction with solution 1, possibly as a secondary, as solution 1 could be the main solution towards the goal that we're going towards, which is getting funding for the library. So I believe these solutions are a practical resolution towards the goal, and I do want to end here, right here on the picture I took a few years ago. I believe this might have been 2 years ago, I believe, and this is where one of our events for the summer reading program, which is an amazing program. Basically, this happens, I believe, annually. It's between June and July, and it is just one of the greatest programs ever. And this was one of the events that was happening during the program, where we had two of the contestants eat whipped cream and try to pick up as much candy as they can and put it in the other plate that they have next to them. And whoever got all of their candy first won, and they got a point. And whoever got the most points, which you could see in the back here of the screen, whoever got the most points won a small prize, which is really cool. And I think this is such an educational program, and this helps children read and have the motivation to reading to get that end prize at the end of the month of July, which this happens between June and July. And I think it's just so wonderful and amazing, and we need to keep programs like this alive. So, thank you for watching. This is my reference page right here for everything I reference. Thank you for considering my PowerPoint and my solutions, and I hope you have the great rest of your day.